Okay. That was just a check to make sure that no sound was happening when I did that, because I definitely just did. I didn't mute. I'm just practicing miming for someday using that. This video was nuts. Yes, it was. I just watched this today. I just saw it today. I feel like I need to talk about it today because I'm going to be busy all weekend, and I want to get out ahead of. I feel like people are probably going to talk about this a lot. And the way that people seem to be talking about it currently, I didn't like. So I'm going to quickly play some stuff that we can look at together. And then after that, we can get straight into it, because hopefully this is going to be under 30 minutes. I'm not going to talk about the video that much. We're going to talk about some surrounding context regarding this man's history, as well as some of the commentary about the situation online, which I found to be distasteful and unusual given his history. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Before we look at that, I think this is important. This is actually important because y'all want to play with Cat Williams, and Cat Williams don't want to play with y'all.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times, just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. Now, I
don't understand. Everybody has receipts of P. Diddy. This was so surprising. I don't know where Cat Williams came from. I don't know where he came. I haven't seen Cat Williams in like 7-8 years. He just came out today. Yep, Diddy did it. I have the receipts. Cat Williams come out every 6 years and tell us some woke stuff. I was about to curse. And then disappear again. And then there was that one time he got beat up by the middle schooler. But I'm not going to talk about that because Cat Williams seems to be excellent at roasting based on what I saw when he was on that show with Wanda or whoever she was. So I'm not about to set myself up like that. I'm not the person. He got on her hair, and I don't have the hair to be back and forth with Cat Williams. I don't have it. So we're not going to talk about him and that middle schooler. We're going to talk about him saying P. Diddy be wanting to party, and he turned down 50 million at 7 times, he said. 4 times, excuse me. So we have, at some point, we have to look at that. I saw the interview on YouTube. I didn't look at it yet, but I saw that it's like blowing up. So I assume it must be good. This is the only clip I've seen from it. So it must be good. Let's quickly look at one more reel. This one's a little less, you know, it's a little less.
The baby out of your coochie and you have not heard from that man since, this video is not for you. Fuck him, but this video is not for you. Keep scrolling. This video is for the baby mamas with the bare minimum baby daddies. Bare minimum BDs are the fucking worst because the entire world is going to tell you how grateful you should just be for a nigga doing what he's supposed to do. Not even just for what he's supposed to do, for doing anything at all. Because there are men who do nothing, men that do something is something to celebrate. Like, please make it make sense, because I'm here to tell you it's not enough. If you are a baby mama with a bare minimum baby daddy, it is okay to feel like it's not enough. It's okay to express the fact that it's not enough. It's okay to say it's not enough, Muhammad. If you are a baby mama with a bare minimum baby daddy in 2024, I seriously encourage you to stop teaching that man how to be a father. We are not these men's women. We are not these men's wives. We are not these men's mothers. When my daughter was 3 months old, yes, we're going back to 3 months old. I'm being petty this year in 2024. I had a conversation with my baby daddy's mother, and in that conversation, she verbatim said to me, Jessica, you cannot expect him to be the father that you never had. And I was so upset with that because I feel like, yes, I can. I can have those expectations of having better hopes for my daughter. And while my daughter is generally content with the level at which her father shows up in her life, in 2024, I'm no longer guiding that. And eventually, at some point in time, she'll see that, she'll feel that. But I'm not going to sit around anymore in 2024 and feel like I should be grateful because I get some type of a check. I get some type of a break. I don't want some type of anything. I want equality in the co-parenting of this child. And while it's apparent that I'm not going to get that, I'm not going to feel bad about complaining about that. I was in an entire other country, having one of the worst mental health breaks that I ever have in my entire life. And I told this man, if I come back, when I come back, I'm going to need your support. I need you to really do this with me. And to come back and that still not be happening, I will never again guide, ask, help. It's a whole different level of disrespect that is very hard to explain. And these are grown men. I don't know what your plans for 2024 are, but I have every intention on making this man regret everything he's ever put me through and continues to put me through. So, Happy New Year! If you pushed a baby out of...
Happy New Year. Bare minimum men, I disagree with it. And before I comment on that, let me quickly put this on the screen because TikTok is being petty. I just opened TikTok and this is what they have. Let me go ahead and add it to my saved too. The caption, if you can't read it, says, I dropped some hot sauce and I asked my fiance to clean it, and this is how it went. He stresses me out. This is why I do the cleaning. So, to follow up on what the young lady was just saying in the video prior to this, bare minimum men who society, I guess, feels like people should be happy with because they're not doing the worst. I would like to relate that to a future video in which we discuss the idea that I do think a lot of men have regarding, because I'm not the worst, you should be happy that I am doing anything at all, and that you're upset at that is bad. That's what I would like to look into. I can't find my notes for it, so I'll refrain from commenting now. But the reason that I think this video was petty for TikTok to put up is because this feels like the bare minimum to me. I'm going through the comments and people are unanimous. Someone said, congrats on your toddler, mama. Someone said, great, now we're all mad. And I'm going to let it continue to play. Let me make it big. Someone said, I'm going insane. There's no way. Someone said he marinated the counter. Someone said this is the bet she won't ask again move. But more importantly, there are people who are, if you marry this, you can't complain later, ill. There are people who are saying, oh, I thought I saw it. I don't see it anymore. I could have sworn there were some people who were saying, what's wrong with the way that he's wiping? If you don't like it, do it yourself. Or like there's nothing wrong with the way he cleaned. And I feel like people are lying. Like the counter might be, these are just some guesses. I'm not like a disinfectant expert or anything like that. I simply wipe down my counters at home regularly and not like this. I feel like maybe now the counter is sticky. If you look closely enough, it's stained yellow or red or something after he's done wiping. And probably depending on, well, not depending on the type of hot sauce, it probably is going to breed bacteria or germs on the counter. So if you guys think sticky, stained, and bacteria breeding is like sanitary and a proper way to clean your counter, I don't know what to tell you. I probably would have used some Clorox or disinfectant in a microfiber towel, although I'm sure paper towels are okay too. And I don't think it would have taken me 4. So I feel like people are being ignorant in the comments when they say what's wrong with what he's doing. He literally is wiping it up. I wipe it up like this. Why is this a problem? I don't understand. I don't understand. So let's leave bare minimum behind in 2023. Happy New Year, everybody, by the way. The video is triggering. I'll remove it. It's still playing for me, but I'll remove it for you all. Welcome, everyone. Before we get too far in the video, this is going to be short, hopefully, under an hour. I was going to say under 30 minutes, but we're 11 minutes in and we haven't made it through the... These aren't memes, but you know the initial thing we do on every stream. So I'm going to say under an hour, quick and concise. But yeah, before we start, I do want to publicly address something regarding the last stream on ItGab, because I feel like people might have questions, and it doesn't feel right for us to just pretend that nothing's happening. So I wanted to publicly say, because I was getting this question a lot on the last stream, the stuff to over here, it's not trash. I'm not living in mess. I know what it looks like. Now, the bookshelf behind me is like messy. I mean, it's not, yeah, it's messy. Like that's not how I want it to be set up. And I'm just too lazy to set it up currently. But this stuff over here, and like if you see boxes and stuff on the floor, this is not like trash, and I'm not living in filth. I just these are literally items that have arrived. It's all still in shipping boxes and packaging. So that's all from Shein or Shine, however it's pronounced, the clothing store, SHEIN. Who said that? Well, somebody did. Multiple people said, wow, that's how anyway. So yeah, no, this is not filth. So I just want to, unsanitary. Those are literally just packages that just arrived. How is it oh, are you talking about the man wiping the counter? Okay, yeah, I think you're talking about the man wiping the counter. Men don't believe in bacteria. I don't believe that. They're weaponizing. They know what they're doing. Somebody said, spill some hot sauce beside his Xbox and then see how he cleans it up. See if he wipes it all over everything. These people aren't stupid. That's what made me upset. You're not stupid. I don't know. I wiped it up. What's wrong? You're not stupid. Play in my face. Like you don't know how to wipe up a spill. Let me be in a 2-year relationship and find out my partner don't wipe their butt. And then try and pretend like I'm crazy when I bring it up. What's wrong with that? Yeah, just air it out. I mean, it'll be clean when I shower later. Let me find out somebody lying in these relationships like they don't know it's a problem. So a court decision has been made. Excuse me, not a court decision. A court case has been going viral online lately because a man decided to jump over. Actually, let me separate this with the intro so we can have a little bit of, yeah. No, I haven't used Temu. I did buy from the TikTok shop one time because I was like, why not? This shirt is only $1. This coat, this jacket is only $3.95. Why not? And it looked good when it got here. Like, it looked good, felt comfortable. It did disintegrate in the wash, and I washed it on gentle, so it did disintegrate in the washing machine. But before that, $35 for 15 outfits and jackets, still, for one wear, still, it's a still. Still itchy. Haven't worn that stuff in months. Still itchy. So maybe not, actually. Maybe see a doctor. Maybe it's like the itchiness is like, have y'all ever worn certain jewelry and like it stains you green? Or never mind. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. I can't find it. I'd like to frame this conversation a little bit. And I can't find what I would like to frame it with because of how what's the word, impromptu or something, because of how just sudden this live stream is. Literally, I saw this today and decided to talk about it tonight. But there was a court case that went viral years ago, a court session. I don't know. Well, yeah, a case, I guess. It was either a black woman or man saying "aight" in the courtroom. Like, the judge was like, this is your sentencing, this is what you have to do, community service or whatever. And he was like, "aight," or he or she. I literally can't remember the gender. I just remember it was a black young person. But I think it was a black woman. And the judge was like, you don't say "aight" to me. You say "yes, sir," or "no, sir," or something. And she was like, "aight." And I think he ended up lengthening her sentencing. So punishing her more harshly, I think. I'm pretty sure he gave her a longer sentence and a fine. And that felt disgusting to me because it felt like a power play. However, when I looked into the comments, I was surprised to see several people saying, well, you should have respected him. That's what you get. She really got owned, something like that, right? Y'all know exactly what people be saying in cases like this. People were completely siding with the judge, and that felt disgusting to me. Like, I'm here for a parking ticket and you decide you want to give me some jail time over respectability politics. That doesn't feel like justice to me personally. I think people should be punished based off of the merit of what they do and not how well they brown nose you in the courtroom. So, but people disagreed. People strongly disagreed. And I couldn't find that. And the only thing I could find that looked similar was this. So we're going to watch maybe 30 seconds of this because I think it's very similar.
This is requesting our on count 2 through 26.
And refer to Division 51. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Come back, man. Come back. Come back. Give me the paper again. Count one will be 10,000.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Adios.
You can hear the reaction of others in the court.
So I just played this, even though this is not the case I recall. I do remember this case, but it's different than the one that I'm thinking of. But pretty similar sentiment, right? This man and this woman are in a court case, and she's just like adios or whatever, and he's like, oh, okay, you want to get sly with me? I got something for you. You now have a larger fine to pay, and you have, let me see. Someone in the comments said, so it looks like he reduced the fine, but he ended up not reducing. He ended up not giving her leniency, an extra 25 days in jail, and gave her a good scolding, I think, after that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he made her come back and get scolded. And people were like overwhelmingly on his side. Now, I don't particularly care about this case because she's white. She looks white. And I don't generally care about covering white people because I feel like white people get enough. I think white people get sympathy that black people don't tend to get when it comes to coverage. Like white women who go missing, I think are covered more than black women, or anything that happens to white people. I generally feel like they get more advocacy. So I choose to advocate for black people generally, even though I don't think what happened in this court case, I don't agree with it, obviously. So I didn't want to use this case because I genuinely don't care about white people problems that much. But yeah, people were overwhelmingly on the side of the judge. People were like, he's a good ethical judge. Hope she learned her lesson and stuff like that. And while I find it hard to advocate for her for the reasons I just mentioned, I do feel strongly about the sentiment that I don't feel like you should be. This feels like a power play to me. This doesn't actually feel like justice in my mind. Now, maybe you can make an argument that the person might not feel remorse for what they're doing, which I think is distinctly different from respectability. I think someone's remorse for what they're doing or their attitude about whatever situation that they did, I would consider different from respectability. But in a lot of these cases where the judge is like, you call me, yes, sir, you refer to me this way, don't seem like this has to do with whether or not you have remorse for the situation, and more like, I have power over you and you're going to respect that power. I'm going to punish you harshly, which I disagree with. So I think it's important to make my thoughts known on that before we get into the man jumping on the judge, because I found a lot of people saying, I didn't see this personally, but we're going to watch it now. People were saying that she was being disrespectful and she deserved what happened to her because of how she spoke to him. I'm not sure if we watched different videos. I didn't see disrespect. However, like I just said, I don't think disrespect warrants obviously a power play, which is what we were just talking about, or any type of physical harm, unless someone's words are, I'm about to shoot you, or like threatening you verbally with physical harm or unaliving. So let me go ahead and pull up this news article first. We can look at the news article first, then we can watch the actual video. The video does have graphic content. I do want to give that forewarning. It's not graphic like blood or something like that. You've probably all seen that he jumps over the counter, over the pew, whatever it is, and not pew, that's the church. He jumps over the thing, the thing that the judge sits behind. I don't know what it's called, but he jumps over it and like he is attacking her. So I do want to make you all aware of that in case it's something that you need to step out for. I am only playing it, by the way, for like educational purposes, so we can all learn from it. Let's see. Courtroom cameras captured a dramatic scene on Wednesday when a Clark County District Court judge sentenced felon Deobra Redden. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm not intentionally mispronouncing his name. Age 30. Age 30. I thought it said 50 earlier. Oh no, excuse me. It's the judge who's 62. Yeah, I could have sworn earlier his age was much higher, but I guess he's 30 and the judge is the old one. That makes sense. In the video, as Judge Mary Kay Holthus reads out the sentence, Redden suddenly jumps over the bench and tries to attack her. 3 people had to restrain Redden. Judge Holthus, who is 62, was injured but appears to be in stable condition after the attack. A court marshal who helped restrain Redden was taken to the hospital afterwards, but is reported to be in stable condition as well, according to a spokeswoman for the court. Redden has a criminal history that includes multiple charges of domestic violence. He previously served time in prison in 2021 for domestic battery. And let's see, his words were, I feel like I shouldn't be sent to prison, but if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do. Redden can be heard telling the judge just a few minutes before he lunged at her. He continues, I just figure I'm in a better place in my mind and mental health. I have a support system. The reason behind every single domestic violence is I've been dealing with mental health problems that I didn't know he was dealing with. So apparently Mr. Redden says the reason that he has put his hands on all these women in the past is because he was fighting demons. Let me say before I continue reading this article, this is disgusting. I always feel extremely disgusted whenever someone puts their hands on someone and I was fighting demons. You were not fighting demons. You were fighting women. You weren't fighting demons. I don't know why people say that. You must be fighting yourself. Thank you. Someone said you're the demon. Yeah, you must be fighting yourself if you're fighting demons. I hate people who rely on mental health as an excuse for why they do terrible actions. I know people who are depressed who don't put their hands on women. That's not an excuse, in my opinion. Redden's lawyer asked Judge Holthus to give Redden probation instead of returning him to prison, but the judge denied the lawyer's request. She said, I appreciate that, but I think it's time he get a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. Holthus can be heard saying right before Redden lunged at her. What got him a felony? Don't worry, we're going to go into that. He likes to put his hands on women. He has a couple. Well, we'll go into it. We'll go into why he has a couple of felonies and 9 misdemeanors. I think 3 felonies and 9 misdemeanors. And some of these are because he put his hands on a woman. And if I'm being statistically accurate, because I don't know the race of these women, they're probably black. So I'm trying to understand why I'm seeing black men and women in the comments, which we'll get to, saying that he's a hero. She shouldn't have talked to him that way. Really taught her a lesson. Because I'm trying to understand why someone who has put his hands on black women is now finding a defense from the black community. I'm trying to see what the issue people have. Let me read her statement again. After he said he's fighting demons and that's why he puts his hands on women, she said, I appreciate that, but I think it's time he get a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. So apparently after she said this to the man who puts his hands on women and others, apparently people were upset with her words at the man who put his hands on women and others and said she deserved that. She should have spoken to the wife beater a little more gentle or something. I don't know. I don't know what their stance is. We'll try to look into it because I legitimately don't know what their stance is. That's the end of this article. I wanted to go into another one, which I think goes more into his history and hopefully gives a more thorough explanation. I'm going to quickly skim through this. It looks like, again, this is a felony battery case. And he's trying to convince the judge. I'm just quickly skimming this so that you guys don't think I'm skipping like important parts. I'm trying to get down to his history. He's in a felony battery case, and he tried to convince the judge that he was turning his violent past around and didn't need to be locked up. And then he leaped over the table and attacked the judge. Apparently there was blood, according to this article, but we'll see in the video. The violent scene on Wednesday was captured by courtroom video showing Clark County District Judge. This is just describing the injuries that she suffered and what happened more. Okay, to go into his charges a little more, the defendant, Deobra, I'm gonna say Deobra Deobra Redden was jailed on a $54,000 bail and refused to return to court on Thursday on new charges. So a judge rescheduled his next appearance for January 9th. Okay, maybe we'll follow up in about a week. Redden, 30, faced 13 counts, including extortion and coercion with force. 7 of the new counts are battery on a protected person, referring to the judge and officers who came to her aid. Okay, so these are all the charges relating to what he did in the courtroom, and now he has $54,000 bail related to that, and 14 new counts of things, including extortion, coercion with force, and battery on the judge and the officers. He was wrestled off by several of the people in the courtroom. People were saying it happened so fast we didn't know what to do. Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson said the suspect's criminal record is marked by mostly violent offenses and includes prior convictions for 3 felonies and 9 misdemeanors. He said Redden should be held without bail as, quote, an extreme danger to the community and a flight risk. He continued, he's been violent his entire adult life. Not Redden's defense attorney, Caesar Almace, declined to comment. So his defense attorney is not defending publicly. I don't disagree with that, by the way. I don't know what my defense would be for him. So who am I to judge? He's probably scratching his head. Or maybe he can no longer, I don't know if he can continue to, I don't know if the judge and the prosecutor and everyone there can continue the case. I'm not sure because I'm not a legal expert, but I don't know if they can continue the case now that they're filing new charges against him and they're the victims of those charges. I'm not sure if they would be able to be the people presiding over that case if they're the people making the charges. Like I'm not sure if they're able to do that, or if it's rescue or whatever have you. Where's Themis? Themis is good with legal questions. Somebody invoke Themis's spirit and ask him for to answer the legal question portion of this, please. I'll ask him on IDGAP. Let's see. At the sentencing hearing, Redden wasn't shackled or in jail garb because he had been released from custody as part of a deal with the prosecutors in which he pleaded guilty in November to a reduced charge of attempted battery resulting in substantial injuries. He was initially charged in the baseball bat attack with assault with a deadly weapon. So apparently he attacked someone with a baseball bat, and they were lenient. They were lenient to him and decided, you know what? Let's not throw the book at you. Let's lower this charge as a part of a plea deal, and you don't have to show up to court in shackles. So what happens, because he said that you need to he was, before he jumped over the thing and lunged at the judge and attacked her, he said he needed to be shown some leniency because, you know, he struggled with mental health, and his defense attorney, of course, was also saying that he should get like a chance. What happens when you give someone a chance? What happens when someone is charged with hitting somebody with a baseball bat, assault with a deadly weapon, and you say, you know what, I'm going to be lenient. I'll reduce the charges, and we're not, you know what, we don't have to shackle you at court. You can just come. You don't have to be like chained up or anything like that. Let's be lenient. What happens? What happens when the man who has 3 felonies and 9 misdemeanors gets just one more chance? Those first 12, you know, the 13th time is the charm. Maybe the 13th time it'll be different. What do you guys think? Should I make a poll in the chat? Do you guys think the 13th time will be different? I don't know. Do y'all think he's going to go to the next court hearing and say, look, all of that was in the past. I was just struggling with mental health. Do you think if she's not like relieved from this duty now that she's, I guess, a victim of the charges that they would be prosecuting, if she's the same judge, do you think he's gonna say, Your Honor, I deserve leniency because I've just been struggling with my... How many times do y'all think he has said this? I didn't even think about that. If he go to the next one, is he gonna do it again? This has me wanting to pull up his entire history and see what happened in each court case. I feel like we should go through all of them and see what he was saying for each one. Maybe we can point out patterns of behavior in people who are guilty and should stay in prison, so we know what to do earlier than the 13th charge. Excuse me. Now he had 3 felonies, 9 misdemeanors for a total of 12. Now he has 9 additional charges. Was it 9? No, it's 13 additional charges. So he's jumped from 12 to 25 in a day. That has to be a record. So he was. They gave him some leniency after he assaulted someone with a deadly weapon, and they lowered his charge after he was accused of assaulting them. Right? It's just alleged currently, guys. I don't know if he's been charged yet. So I just want to say all of this is alleged. He hasn't been charged with this stuff yet. He hasn't been charged with he's been charged with it. I don't think he's been convicted yet. So this is all alleged, guys. I do want to add that disclaimer. We don't know that he attacked the judge yet. We have to wait for the conviction before we say definitively, I believe. I just want to make sure I'm covering my bases. We don't know that it happened yet. So let's see. On Wednesday, he wore a white shirt and dark pants as he stood next to his attorney. Very important that they point out his attire. And asked the judge for leniency while describing himself as a person who never stops trying to do the right thing, no matter how hard it is. I'm not a rebellious person, he told the judge, later adding that he doesn't think he should be sent to prison. But if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do. Let me pause and say, this is something I find disgusting also, because if you guys remember, we talked about something on a stream that might not seem related, but I think is, regarding how men approach women with compliments and as if they're such a nice guy. You're so beautiful. You look so amazing pumping your gas. You look so amazing working out. And, you look so amazing at your place of employment or wherever else that men decide to hit on women. Can I get your number? Oh, no, thank you. I have a man. Now, all of a sudden, they switch up and turn violent on you. I strongly dislike people who present this inauthentic aura of, I'm just a kind person and you just need to give me a chance and I'm really such a nice guy, and then switch up. I don't trust it. I find that particularly disgusting. He asked for leniency, described himself as a person who will never stop trying to do the right thing, no matter how hard it is. He says, I'm not a rebellious person, and later adds that he doesn't think he should be sent to prison, but if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do. What a false sense of security. If you think it's right, I wouldn't be upset at you. That's what I'm hearing from this statement. His statement is saying, I wouldn't like this to happen, but if you do it, I understand. His actions were starkly in contrast to that. As the judge made it clear she intended to put him behind bars and the court martial moved to handcuff him to take him to custody, Redden yelled expletives. He did curse and charged Ford and tried to attack her. Records show Redden, who lives in Las Vegas, was evaluated and found competent to stand trial in the battery case before pleading guilty to the reduced charge. He previously served prison time in Nevada on a domestic battery conviction. I thought this was the article that went into detail about his record, but I guess not. Let me see if I can find it quickly. If not, it's fine. We can move into the video. Documents obtained. Hate Fox, but documents show that Redden was no stranger to the criminal justice system. Documents obtained by Fox 5 show in 2012, Redden was charged with battery with a deadly weapon. In 2016, he faced a domestic battery charge, which was dismissed. In 2018, Redden again faced domestic battery. In 2021, Redden was slapped with 8 charges of battery, ranging from battery which constitutes domestic violence, third offense, and battery by prisoner, probationer, or parolee. So maybe he was, so after getting charged, apparently maybe he was being violent in prison too. A few months later, Redden faced a charge of malicious destruction of property. I'm looking at 2016 where he faced a domestic battery charge, which was dismissed. And I'm wondering, I'd like to know more details about these court cases, because I'm wondering, like, what was the punishment in each of these? Like, did he serve prison time? Was he fined? Were they all very lenient in the way that the 2016 charge seems to be? Because it was dismissed. We don't know why it was dismissed. To be fair, it could be a false charge. Maybe he didn't do domestic battery for the 15th time. We don't know. I'll give that leeway. But I'm wondering how lenient they have been over this 2012, and it's now 2024 math 12-year history. How much leniency has there been? 12 years and 12 charges. That's crazy. 1 per year. Fighting demons. Let's go ahead and watch the video. If it pops up. Oops, I made it full screen and now I can't see anything. Okay. I'm not sure if it's me or not, but I can barely hear this. Let me see. Let me try and find one we can actually hear. Thank you for confirming, Vitamin. Because I didn't hear any of that. Let me try TikTok. I'm pretty sure there were several. This was blowing up on TikTok. Well, this doesn't show the full thing. This just shows him jumping up there. I guess we can watch this, but I'm looking for the full thing. I'm just looking for one where we can actually hear the audio better. I do want to, again, give a viewer discretion just in case any of you are not okay with this, but he does jump over. And even though it's difficult to see, in my opinion, I can barely see anything, but he was apparently attacking her. So I will show this purely for educational purposes. So yeah. Ooh, that was really loud. Let me turn this down because on my end, I'll leave it up for y'all. But after that soft video, that was jarring.
Oh my God. The Clark County judge that you saw there had just denied the man's request for probation instead of jail time over charges of attempted battery. He is facing much more than that now. The judge and one of the marshals in this video were injured.
Court audio isn't very good. So y'all are saying, yeah, because I'm looking up in other tabs while this is playing. And the audio on these also seems very low. So we might not be able to hear the audio. So it might not even... Okay, it's fine. We don't have to watch the full video. Do we all understand at least everything that happened based on the articles I read? Or do you guys want to watch the video anyway, even though it's the volume is low? The full video is about 2.5 minutes, and they don't do anything but discuss what I already said regarding him explaining that he's really such a nice guy and just needs a little bit of leniency. His prosecutor doing the same, and then the judge saying no. I do want to play the part that the judge says. I do want to play that part because maybe we can't hear the tone in text form, so maybe we should listen to it. I won't play the part where he jumps over and attacks her again, just the part where she says what she says.
In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
This one doesn't show it actually. Yeah, everyone's just showing the attack. Nobody actually wants to show
Mr. Redden, is there?
This is the full one actually. So let me ask this question before we go through it. Do y'all want to watch the entire thing? It is nearly 4 minutes long, or do you just want to watch the part where she says what she says? Because that's the part I'm interested in specifically, because there were people saying what she said was disrespectful and that she deserved something. They were saying something. Play it whole. Okay, yeah, we can play the whole thing. Hopefully the volume's better.
Is there anything you want to say on your own behalf before I pronounce sentence?
So basically, I would like to tell the courts, everyone here, like, based on my criminal history, like, I feel that, like, I shouldn't be, like, sent to prison for a second time.
Have you looked at your criminal history? Have you looked at your criminal history?
I actually just, I looked at it.
I mean, you lived it, I suppose.
I just looked at it, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
yeah, I just figured, like,
Battery on a protected person, robberies.
Wait, he has battery on a protected person? Isn't that what he was just charged with now for assaulting well, not assaulting. Well, yeah, I think it would be considered, well, battery. For what he did to this judge? Isn't that what he was just charged with? He has a history of doing this? Well, it's not necessarily a judge that he did it to. I'm sure a protected person can be like a police officer, prison guard, or whatever have you. So,
Attempt home invasion. Go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I
just figure, like, and I'm in a better place in my mind, my mental health. I have a support system. I just got hired as a teamster for, a union, making $20 an hour, and like that.
I have a support system now. I just got hired as a teacher for a union, making $20 an hour, possibly a teacher of young children. Do y'all feel safe with this man? Sorry.
The reason behind every single domestic violence, I've been dealing with mental health, and I didn't know that I was dealing with mental health. And they put me in mental health court, and I still didn't know that I had a mental health problem until it was August 2022 when I realized I have a problem with this. And like having a dictionary and like understanding myself, getting to know myself a little better, and applying it to my personality, and having an epiphany at that moment in those instances, and just like trying to learn from my mistakes, And I feel like I shouldn't be sent to prison.
I also want to say, Oh, Team Star. Thank goodness. Y'all, maybe I hope this doesn't, like, I hope this isn't improper to say, but I would not feel safe with this man around children. Not with 3 felonies and 9 misdemeanors, the majority, if not all of them, related to violence on another individual. So thankfully, Teamster, not teacher, a union. So I'm just uninformed. My apologies for assuming this man was in the education system.
But if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do. But I figure that, you know, if I'm in a better place in my life, I'm not doing drugs. I'm not, you know, I'm not out there.
And let me pause and say, I don't see, this is scary to me because we're going to play a video after this, because the whole reason I know about this case is because a TikToker covered it. And she's a Black woman, and she was like, these are the men y'all want us to reject in the streets. I think she was responding to someone who's like, why do you just give the number just to ghost us? Why don't you just say why don't you just say that you don't want me? Why do you lie or give me a fake number? She said, these are the men y'all want us to reject. Look at this man. I don't even see anything. Maybe y'all see something, but I don't even see anything in his body language where I would be worried. I don't see anything in his manner of talking where I would be worried that this man is about to attack me. That is scary. He looks like someone I would walk down the street past. And I think that's important because I think a lot of people think people who put their hands on women or other men or children look like big, scary monsters or something. No, this looks like my 3rd grade teacher who was the softest, warmest person ever. So we're going to get into that after we play through this, because she was saying, these are the men y'all want us to reject. And I think we can have an important discussion about people thinking that vetting is just like the easiest thing ever. This man speaking like calmly and collected. I'm a better person. I would have believed him had the video not been titled "Man jumps bench and attacks judge in court." Had I not had prior context, I might believe him. I might be like, maybe he has changed. 12 felonies. Excuse me, 3 felonies, 9 misdemeanors. Well, maybe now is the time. I might have been fooled, and that scares me. Let me rewind a little bit.
Now, if I'm in a better place in my life, I'm not doing drugs. I'm not, you know, I'm not out there committing crimes now. You know, and I feel like I should be given a shot because I'm in a better place.
Oh, I did want to point out, he said, I think I should be given a shot because I think in cases like these, you shouldn't be pleading for why your life should be easier. You should be telling me how remorseful you feel for the people that you just isn't he here because he assaulted someone with a baseball bat? That they lowered the charge from assault with a deadly weapon to give him leniency. Isn't that why he's here? What about that person who you hit with the baseball bat? How do you feel about them? I haven't heard a word. All I've heard is, please give me a chance. Please, me. What about the person you were charged for battery with a deadly weapon in 2012, or domestic battery in 2016, or domestic battery in 2018, or 8 charges of battery, ranging from domestic violence, battery by a prisoner, probationer, or parolee in 2021, or a few months later when you face charges of malicious destruction of property, or now that you've assaulted someone with a baseball bat? What about how do you feel about those people? I don't care about you. I don't care what chance you want. If I was that person, I'd wish I had a chance not to be hit with a baseball bat. That's what I want to hear you talk about. What do you talk about? I'm such a nice guy. We talk about this in different contexts sometimes. how men will go to court, make it about them instead of whatever they're at court about, and then get confused when the court case doesn't turn out how they want it to. Because I've seen drunk drivers go to court, and they'll be in court bawling their eyes out at the fact that they unalived a family or something, and they'll be like, I can't sleep at night. I can't believe what I've done to these people. And I don't think that excuses their actions, but that says a lot more to me than, please don't put me in jail. I deserve a chance. Go easy on me for the 13th time. In my opinion, that says a lot more about your character when you care about the person you harmed instead of just trying to get yourself out of trouble. This man clearly doesn't understand that. Let's continue.
Place than I was then, you know, so that's, I'm a person who never stops trying to do the right thing, no matter how hard it is. And I just, you know, and I'm trying, and I never give up trying to do the right thing. I know I'm not a rebellious person. I don't want to be standing here. I want you to have to, you know, sit up here and waste your time as well, you know? But the criteria of me saying this is that I'm a person that never stops trying to do the right things, even if it's hard. I did the best I could. I have.
Thank you.
I think the court can trust that he is going to perform well on probation. I think he's worth this risk. The court wants the 1948 suggested by the VA.
This prosecutor, I think he's worth the risk. His prosecutor. Yeah, I'm not gonna go in on his prosecutor because if his job is to defend this man, so I don't know to what degree you can reject a case as a prosecutor. Like, I don't know that he has the option to say, no, I won't defend someone. Like, I legitimately don't know. So I care more about the man than the person who's forced to defend them. Not prosecutor, excuse me, his defense attorney.
I would have no issue with that, but this is suspended rather than just sending him to prison.
So they want to give him something. Let me replay that. He said, I think he's worth the risk. The course wants the 1948 as suggested by the DA. I don't think that's what he's saying, but it's so low I can barely hear.
Once the 1948 suggested by the VA, I would have no issue with that, but this is suspended.
I have no issue with that, but to suspend it rather than just send him to prison.
Rather than just sending him to prison for I think it makes more sense given the circumstances.
It makes more sense given the circumstances and his ability to do probation successfully. I said I wasn't going to harp on this man's words, but this man is worth the risk. We need to give him probation, not prison time. It makes more sense given the circumstances. I'm not feeling it.
His ability to do probation successfully given the circumstances.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
I was muted. I literally just turned away for the one part that I actually wanted to hear. I wanted to hear what she said. So after he says, I think it makes more sense given the circumstances, he should do probation instead of prison. She says,
Ability to do probation successfully given the circumstances.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. At which point he says, F this S and attacks her, which I won't play since we already played it earlier. And I don't believe in just playing senseless violence for no reason. It's already served the purpose. We already saw it. And he proves her right. Congratulations, winner. You won. You won. You proved her right. Like, is vetting actually a thing, y'all? Because again, if I had not seen the title of that video, let me see what the title says. Man jumps bench and attacks judge in court. Had I not seen the title of that video, I might have been thinking, wow, what a nice guy. Just 1 second earlier, he was a nice guy. He was a quote unquote nice guy. Just 1 second earlier. Your Honor, I'm a changed man. I believe I deserve leniency because, you know, all of these times I've been beating on my family member or partners or children, it's just been because mental health, and I've been working on it. He said he looked at a dictionary or something to work on his mental health. I believe he said he looked at a dictionary. I could be incorrect, but I don't feel like going back to watch. Just 1 second earlier, he was a quote unquote nice guy. And then seconds later, when he didn't get what he want, he felt it appropriate to put his hands on a woman again for the 13th time. I'm a nice guy. Just give me a chance. I think I'm upset at this because first, let me say people are memeing this, which is fair. There have been several instances where we meme things that in full context might be bad. I remember Michael Jordan crying was a popular meme, and I'm pretty sure he was crying, describing like his trauma after his mom passed away or something like that. Don't cite me on that because I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure he was crying over something devastating, but all we had was the meme. Or Will Smith crying at the Red Table Talk because his wife is discussing something like entanglement. Or there was one where a man fainted in court. It was really popular. It was called Bruh or something. He fainted in court after they read out his charges, and his charges were like egregious. So memeing stuff that is like completely inappropriate in full context, I think it's fair game. For some reason, we as a society are not serious anymore. Wasn't there a prisoner and he was like, "Your Honor, I'm sorry." Let me see. He was like, "Your Honor, I'm sorry, and I won't do it again." And I went and looked up this man's charges. This is a whole convicted felon.
That's how I wrote a song. Hello there, Your Honor. I want to say I'm sorry for the things I've done, and I try and be stronger in this life I chose. But I want you to know that door I closed. And Your Honor, I'm sorry, 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 sorry.
So I'm not about to play all this because I'm not about to do this because that's making me too happy, and like I don't need to be. I need to be in my rage right now. What do y'all think his charges were? I'm waiting for your comments. I want to see what y'all think his charges were. I'll leave that up to your imagination. Actually, I won't tell you what his charges were. They were very similar to never mind. I won't say that. That would have been completely inappropriate. George Floyd has a history of being not so good towards Black women, I'll say. And I was going to bring up those charges because they're actually very similar. He pressed a gun into a man's stomach while trying to rob him. And that's what he's singing I'm sorry for to the judge and his mom and the victim. So like the full context, in my opinion, makes that like completely disgusting. The victim's in there, and this is like, anyway, but people memed it. So I'm just saying all this to say I completely understand the idea that people are going to meme stuff like this. There's nothing we can do to stop that. Donald Trump could come out today and say, I'm going to nuke Russia. People would be memeing it and remixing it tonight, and we would find out they remixed it tomorrow. People don't take anything serious, whatever. However, the people defending him or even praising him, commending him for his actions, that is unusual. Because this man is on trial for domestic battery. I'm pulling up the Twitter thread. Thank you, Vitamin, by the way. I believe it was Vitamin who made me aware of this Twitter thread. Prior to that, we were going to go through the comments I saw on TikTok, which I also found reprehensible. However, much more, what's the word? Palatable than what I found on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter generally, so I'm not sure if Twitter is just like the wild, wild west, but the comments were disgusting. Before we look at that, I do want to look at this 1 minute video because I did mention it earlier from the Black woman who was describing, these are the men y'all want us to reject. And she captioned it, this is why I give out my number. And are y'all rejecting Superman?
These are the men that they will tell you not to give your number to. These are the men that they want you to reject. Men who literally can jump in a courtroom full of people, camera, security, have no, I live in New York. They have no chill. This man jumped over the podium to jump on this lady, knowing she was about to already send him to prison, with no fear of any other man. Beat this woman down and then turned around and beat the security guard. He had 3 other people on his back jumping on his head. He did not stop. He persisted. He was consistent. He was precise. He was disciplined. He did what he saw his goal and he reached his goal. I was dating a man recently and he was like, oh, I don't like you keep giving your number out to people. You talk to everybody on the street. Sir, I am trying to get home safely. Please let me.
Yeah, trying to get home safely. Hopefully I don't anger Superman, who jumps over the desk, and as one of these commenters say, his stomach didn't hit the desk or nothing. Someone said, as funny as it was, that was terrifying, like no self-control. Now imagine if he has a girlfriend that he disagreed with about something. And the original poster says, for real, I'm joking, but no one should be around that man. Agreed. Someone said, what did someone say? Act like you don't know English. And someone said, give a fake number. Somebody gave, when I was like 13, someone gave me the number to something called Rejection Hotline. And I called it and it was like, hello, if you got this number, you've just been rejected. Politely, of course. And like it was, I mean, I don't not support it, but I would make sure they don't call it. What I hear men are doing now is, oh, let me call or text it in front of you. So I feel like men are trying, again, to circumvent women's methods of trying to protect themselves. Men are choosing to circumvent those. So I would be wary of giving out the rejection hotline these days, but I'm not opposed to it. To be fair, it was funny. So I found it funny.
Additional Prime Minister.
We're not about to watch a meme after that. Not the time or place. So, what do you guys think the comments look like? I'm not going to say they're all bad. There were some people calling this reprehensible. There were some people saying you just proved why you need to be in prison in the first place. There are some people pointing out how absurd it is that just seconds before he lunges at this woman, he's talking about how good a person he is and why he deserves leniency and why he won't do it again. I'm not going to demonize every single comment on here, but I was very interested to find well, let's just go through them. The first comment says, this man is a repeat felon facing 30 years, 3 felonies, 9 misdemeanors, multiple domestic battery charges, and was in court for assault with a deadly weapon, and they were trying to bail him out. Her comment was on point. How many more chances was this guy supposed to get? How many more chances was this guy supposed to get? Someone asked, why wasn't he cuffed? If you guys remember, he got leniency for his charge, actually. And part of the plea deal he took was that he wouldn't have to be cuffed in court. I think, actually, if I remember correctly, his plea deal may have been overturned. I need to look into that because I think his plea deal may have been overturned for some reason. So the plea he got to lower his charge to assault with a deadly weapon, as well as not having the cuffs, I think was being overturned for something. Like he might have done something against the terms of his plea deal to get it revoked. But I will have to go back into it and see. Apologies. Let me go back to the next. Go back to the next comment. The next comment says, having to call 911 in a court of law is insane. Agreed. The next comment says, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of F with it. Like, she was so smug. She thought she was untouchable, but this dude just completely shattered her worldview just on that aspect alone. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of F with it. Like, she was so smug. She thought she was untouchable. What video am I watching? Am I watching a different video from everyone? I'm trying to understand which part was smug. Did I miss it? Please let me know if I missed it. Please let me know. Please hold me accountable and make sure I'm not being biased. Was it the part where she said, no, Mr. 13 conviction on domestic battery? No, you can't have a 14th chance. No. Was that the part where they felt like she was smug? Was it the part where the man who has an issue with repeatedly putting his hands, most likely, if I'm being statistically accurate, most likely putting his hands on Black women, men, and children, that telling this man, no, you don't get a 14th chance to put your hands on Black women, men, and children? That's the part? Is that the part where she was smug? Please let me know. Thank you, cultural misfit. It doesn't matter if she was smug. The type of opinion where you feel like this woman deserves to be hurt because she got smart with me is probably the type of opinion he has. That's probably why he has 13 convictions. Let me quickly go back to those convictions. In 2012, Redden was charged with battery with a deadly weapon. In 2016, he faced a domestic battery charge, which was dismissed. In 2018, Redden again faced a domestic battery. In 2021, Redden was slapped with 8 charges of battery, ranging from battery which constitutes domestic violence, third offense, and battery by prisoner, probationer, or parolee. A few months later, Redden faced a charge of malicious destruction of property. All of this is prior to him now being charged with assault with a deadly weapon, which is what he was on trial for when he now came up and added 13 additional charges. So this man with an extremely violent history probably shares this opinion that, oh, this woman is smug, so I can put my hands on her. This is at Kayubi3490 on Twitter. I just went to their page. I don't like what I'm seeing, so I'm about to leave it. Some of the replies to him. Not gonna lie, if this is your outlook, you probably deserve the same one day. Thankfully, there are some reasonable people in his replies. Someone said, all he did was prove he's not fit to roam the streets amongst the civilized. A meme today, forgotten about tomorrow. Someone said, oh, by the way, this his comment has like 1,400 people who liked it. 1,400 people liked his comment where he said she was smugged and thought she was untouchable. So I F with what he did to her. Y'all watch out for these men who condone violence on women because they feel like a woman is being smug with them. Y'all watch out for these people. These people who watch Fresh and Fit because they want to see women get kicked out. These people who want to see violence on women, whether that be verbal or physical, y'all watch out for these men. Because what this man is saying, if he doesn't realize it, what this man is saying is, I agree with this man doing I kind of agree with this man being physically violent towards this woman because she was smug. I don't know if he understands the implication of what he's saying, but this is what he's saying. I condone this because she was smug, so she kind of deserved it. In his comment about, oh, he just shattered her worldview by going up there to put his hands on her. No, he didn't. He just proved it. But Mel Schiffer at the Vibes Culture in the comments said he kind of agrees regarding her being smug and thinking she's untouchable. And so he kind of F's with the behavior that he saw that man do towards her. One of the women replied, yeah, woman beaters often say things like that after they've been caught by the police. She deserved it. She was being smug. She thought she was all that. Someone so forth. He didn't shatter her worldview. He reinforced it. Thank you. Someone said, stop and think about that. People attack judges. They attack a symbol of a peaceful community. If you wish to live where the strong can dominate the weak, then enjoy that world. That is not civilization. It is savage barbarity. Is that what you are embracing and identifying is? The last comment I'll read from this. The judge made an assessment based on his history of violence that prison time was warranted. His behavior in court proves her assessment was 100% correct. Thank you. Her worldview was affirmed. I don't know what this man is talking about. The smug part was her having the audacity to be a judge and do her job because ain't nobody supposed to tell him what to do. Thank you. That's what it seems like they're saying. I have to stop this from playing. I'm legitimately don't want to just keep playing it over and over again because I know how YouTube is about stuff. Let's go to the next comment from the diary of not defending his actions. But why agitate a violent criminal? I hope she rethinks her courtroom decorum. I hope she rethinks her courtroom decorum. Why agitate a violent criminal? Maybe she should rethink things. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think she should maybe she's the problem? She should have been more respectable. And then this wouldn't have happened to her. Does that sound familiar? It sounds familiar to me. Well, you shouldn't have. I don't like that. I hate that. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have been in that neighborhood. You shouldn't have been wearing that. You shouldn't have made him upset. I don't like that at all. They wanted the judge to baby him. These comments are the result of the normalization of rampant misogyny. Agree. I don't think it's just misogyny, though, because the comments I feel like are coming from specific race. So I feel like there are some additional things in there aside from misogyny. I'm not sure why we're making an attempt to insulate this man from critique and instead attack his judge. I'm not sure why this happened. I'm not sure why people wanted to jump around Jonathan Majors and defend him from any critique. And this was just a white woman trying to take advantage of a black man. I'm not sure why people are jumping around Diddy and saying, oh, she's just trying. I'm not sure what it is where our community specifically wants to insulate these people. Well, I'm a little sure of what it is. I'm a little sure, but we can talk about it. Because this comment says all the other men in the courtroom who stood back and sat back didn't try to help get him off her. Hope you're proud of yourselves. Unbelievable. And I'm trying not to look at the color of the people commenting, but I'm seeing a theme. And I'm feeling like there's a culture difference where one culture is saying these men in the one culture's comments on this was disappointment in the men in the room who watched a man lunge at a judge and didn't do anything. And the other culture is why would she be rude to him or smug? She kind of deserved it. I'm finding these two different communities kind of clashing in ideology in these comments, at least. Somebody said shut all the way up. Somebody said I hope they put him down. Someone said, I'm curious what you think she could have said that wouldn't have agitated him. He proved her point that he shouldn't be released into the community. Thank you. Spoiler alert, it don't matter what you're wearing. It don't matter how you talk to them. Spoiler alert. Your behavior doesn't dictate how someone treats you. Their behavior does. Specifically when they're being violent towards you. Your behavior doesn't dictate that. Unless you're threatening them with violence or something like that where they need to defend themselves. Your behavior don't dictate that. Someone said, did you just gaslight a violent attack on a woman by a man? I hope you rethink your worldview on gender violence and violence of any nature, actually. You clearly are defending his actions, and why shouldn't she point out where he's going wrong so he can correct himself? Thank you. He don't want to look in the mirror. People upset that she wants him to look in the mirror. And I'm trying my best to understand. What do people feel like this woman did wrong when she said, no, you don't deserve a 14th chance to put your hands on some black women, men, and children? What did she do wrong? Tell me what type of respectability politics she should have did. I genuinely want an answer. Do y'all think if this was some black man who said F the police and the police decided to beat him with some batons, do you think we would be sitting here talking about, well, why did he provoke them? He should have just complied. I don't think our community would be saying that. Some people would. There are some very specific communities that would say that. I'm surprised to see my community saying she should have just been respectable and she wouldn't have gotten attacked. This is jarring for me. Jarring. Someone made fun of her. They quoted her where she said, "You need a taste of something else," and said, "Well, you got a knuckle sandwich." LMAO. It's a joke to some people. Someone said, "I considered thought-provoking commentary to help you understand how laughing at this could actually be to your detriment. Then I scrolled and realized the racist responses have already begun. Please tell me you get the connection." Yeah, people, let me pause and say, when these black people are coming in here to defend him, people are going in their comments. I saw one on screen earlier calling them the N-word and stuff like that. I completely disagree with that. But yeah, aside from that, maybe he needs some thought-provoking commentary, this black man, to understand why telling that judge she got a taste of a knuckle sandwich might not be good for him in particular. Someone said, oh, that was the comment I already read. Someone said, after that, Miss Mahogany, not to be confused with Mahogany Pink, whose content I adore. Miss Mahogany says she's a black woman, and she says after that slick comment, she deserved that. How's a taste of something else? SMH. After that slick comment, she deserved that. I wonder, there are times when I want to be angry, and I read this comment earlier and I was angry, but I wonder what type of abuse someone must accept if they think a person deserves this. Does this woman, if she's in a relationship with a man like this, think that she might deserve somebody putting their hands on her because of a slick comment? That actually makes me sad. I wanted so desperately to be mad at this. But the idea that this woman's view on this might be what's the word? Might be an indication of something she feels like she would deserve if she made a slick comment in her relationship. That's actually sad to me. Is this the standard in the community? If a woman says a slick comment, she deserves that. A woman replied to her, a black woman replied to her and said, "Y'all care more about the judge's tone rather than the fact his criminal history is longer than the Mexican border, oof, and full of violent crimes like the one he just committed. It's obvious a taste of something else is her stating he's been given chances and she assessed it right." How often has a woman assessed a man correctly and people want to ignore that to coddle a man instead and sympathize with him? So she says, yeah, you care more about the judge's tone rather than the fact his criminal history is long. And the person who said, Miss Mahogany, after she said, after that slick comment, she deserved that. That was her original comment, by the way. And the person replied to her and said, you care more about the judge's tone rather than the fact that rather than his criminal history. And the poster said, that's what you got from what I said? Someone replied and said, that is what you said. That is what you said. What were we supposed to get from what you said? When you said after that slick comment, she deserved that. What were we supposed to get other than you care more about this judge doing some respectability politics than you care about this man's history of putting his hands most likely on Black women, men, and children? Someone said it doesn't matter. You already have all the power behind that podium. No need to taunt him. It gives slave master. Is that what it's giving? If I see a Black man who has put his hands on Black women, men, and children, and I say you don't deserve leniency like the first 13 times you got leniency, it gives slave master? Is that what it gives? Someone said, I feel like that was almost like calling him the N-word, honestly. And she replies and said, exactly. It gave very much, I'll show them N-words. No, that's not what it gave. That's what he gave when he launched over. What he gave was, I am them N-words. That's what he gave. I'm not going to give you leniency for your 13th charge of putting your hands on someone. That was giving for them almost like calling him the N-word, honestly. Where is Sinji? Are you in the comments, Cynthia? Sorry, we went over the hour. I'll drop the link because I know some of you might want to comment on this, and it is getting late, so I don't want to keep y'all up all night. I don't know that I have a lot to say. I just feel disappointed. I feel disappointed if this is the standard in the community, and it's not just this. It's like this has been, in my opinion, going on for a while. Like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Jonathan Majors, and Diddy. Now this man. It feels like people are so eager to defend people who we don't have to. And I just feel overwhelmingly disappointed. Again, for the 50th time, I feel overwhelmingly disappointed. Happy New Year, everybody. 4 days into the new year. Four days. Have y'all seen Gypsy Rose has been released? Does anyone know who that is? Does anyone keep up with that? Holding someone accountable equals calling someone a slur. Crazy. I'm trying to make it make sense. Let me pause and say, I believe there is racism in the justice system. I've seen evidence of that in my personal life, and I believe the data also shows evidence of that. I believe there is racial bias in the justice system. Racial bias isn't you just put your hands on Black women, men, and children, and now you're going to be punished for it without the leniency that we gave you for the first 13 charges. Maybe I missed the racism. Let me see if I can find it in this description of what he did again. In 2012, Redden was charged with battery with a deadly weapon. In 2016, he faced domestic battery charge, which was dismissed. 2018, again, domestic battery. 2021, 8 charges of battery, ranging from battery, which constitutes domestic violence, third offense, Third offense, in battery by a prisoner, probationer or parolee. A few months later, charge of malicious destruction of property. All of this is prior to his current charge that he had of assault with a deadly weapon, which they reduced to be lenient towards him. And now 13 additional charges, I believe, for what he did, lunging at the judge and all that. No, this wouldn't be a case. This would be, in my opinion, extreme leniency. I don't even understand how this man would be on the street, if I'm being honest. I have no idea. Because I know there's racism in the system. I have no idea how this man is out on the streets. No idea. This is not a case where I would cry racism at all. As the men in other communities making comments like, all the other men in the courtroom who stood back and sat back didn't try to help get him off her. Hope you're proud of yourselves. To be sandwiched in between comments from Black men and women making fun of her and saying she got a taste of what she deserved for making that slick comment, because it was basically like calling him the N-word. Someone said, well, she certainly got a taste of something else now, didn't she? I'm crying. Crying emoji. Ha ha hee hee. David asked, everyone for some reason seems to be enjoying this. Was she a bad judge? Question mark. Someone replied and said, they're not enjoying this. No, they are. They're enjoying it. They're laughing up a storm in the comments, making all types of memes. They're having a good time. They're enjoying it. They said her smug comment probably set him off. Yeah, thank goodness he's behind bars now. That's my commentary on this. I don't see that anyone clicked the link to hop up and give their thoughts on it. So I assume we're all on one accord, and we're all unified and in agreement. Yay. That makes me happy, at least. He really proved the judge's point about needing something different. He thought he was going to get the leniency he's been getting every time before. He clearly was not afraid to do whatever the hell he felt like doing, including attacking a judge. Not only did he possibly the worst thing he could do in that situation, this moron demonstrated how violent, impulsive, and out of control he truly is. He belongs in prison for a long, long time. Yeah, this is scary to me. This is scary to me, y'all. Imagine being a woman and dating in this environment. Imagine. That's why I brought up that TikTok from earlier. I didn't even think about that perspective. She said, these are the men y'all want us to reject. That is scary, y'all. And y'all know we aren't strangers to that. We had a whole live stream about men who get rejected and then turn violent, whether that be verbally or physically. Men who are giving you the utmost respect and compliments. Wow, you're so beautiful, miss. Oh my God, you're so amazing. Can I get your number? And as soon as you don't give them your number, all of a sudden you're ugly, ratchet. Don't nobody want you anyway. You think you all that. They switch up so quickly. That is scary to me, y'all. That's incredibly scary. I'm going to play my outro and we can have a brief after show. Thank you all for watching, by the way. Don't forget to leave a like because I do think this video is important and I would like hopefully more people to see it. Because I anticipate people are going to come out. I hope I'm wrong. But this is fairly new, so I don't think a lot of people have commented on it yet. I anticipate a lot of people are going to come out and start defending him and saying what they said in these comments, that he's smug. She was smug and deserved it. And I want to make sure my video is out ahead of that, where we look at the fact that this man has been putting his hands on Black women, men, and children for more than a decade. And they care about respectability politics more than they care about that. So thank you for watching, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll have a brief after show. I think I did pretty well, guys. I don't think I got too angry. Y'all should have seen me earlier today. Y'all should have seen me when I first saw this. When I first saw these comments, y'all should have seen me. I was acting the fool. But I think I was much calmer. I'm the prize Platts. It's a 2-strand twist. I don't know if that's the same as Platts. I think it's 2-strand twist. It might be. I actually don't know what she did. I just told her to do her thing. She was like, okay. Do your thing. Got it. I didn't know what her thing was, but I think she did it. I think she did it. Yeah, I think hopefully I maintained I'm not gonna say maintain calm because I don't think I did. I don't think that was calm. I think the whole thing was infuriating throughout. Yeah, I know y'all said I was lacking some oomph on the last idgab, so I brought it here. I brought it here because what? I'm sorry. I just saw I saw this video. The video was like, to be honest, I didn't even care about the video. I saw him jumping over the thing and people were memeing it, and I was like, that's what people do. Whenever something happens in court or whenever something crazy happens, people meme it. I didn't even care. It's only when I went to the comments. It's only when I went to the comments and saw the perception of this is that this man is a hero. Like, I'm sitting here looking at this judge. I'm like, does this judge have a history of being like racist or something? Or am I missing something? Nope, couldn't find anything. Just a judge. It doesn't have a history, to my knowledge, of like shouting out the N-word towards black people. I expected to find something where I'm like, there must be a reason why. There must be a reason why people are so upset to the point where they're saying she deserved this. I watched it and felt like there were points where she was snarky. To be fair, I don't think the point where she said, just got a call. I don't think the point where she said, thank you for that, but no, I think you deserve a taste of something different. I don't think that part was snarky. And if it was, do people actually care that much? That they would quickly side with someone who has put his hands on people 13 different times that are documented. Because I don't believe when people get like domestic battery, domestic violence, all these charges he has, when people get charged with that, even the first time they're charged with it, to be honest, I don't believe it's the first time they've done it. It's just the first time they got caught. So the fact that a man who has domestic violence and domestic battery charges, an extensive history of these charges and violence, people are siding with him because they felt like the judge was smug. It's so insane to me. That's the part that got me. And then Vitamin, thank you, by the way, Vitamin is the one who made me aware of that Twitter thread. Y'all can credit Vitamin with that. I was upset over TikTok The comments on TikTok were like tame compared to the comments on that Twitter thread, and that already had me heated. So Vitamin really ramped it up. But I want to watch one. We can watch one or two things just to kind of bring down the mood before we go to sleep. So this is an Asian woman, and she says people are always surprised after hearing her voice for the first time, and they say, "Why do you sound like that?" Let's see what her voice sounds like today.
And I'm from here. I was born in Thailand, and I grew up in Georgia for a decade, and then I fucking moved to Nebraska. Hello, guys.
Whoa, let's hear that again.
And I'm from here. I was born in Thailand, and I grew up in Georgia for a decade, and then I fucking moved to Nebraska.
Let me pause and say, this is so unusual. This is so unusual. Because this accent sounds familiar. And this is the accent of anyone who is not black, but has, I guess people call it blaccent. It feels like they all have the same one, irregardless of where they grew up or what black people they're around from, what different culture or what different part of the world or United States. Yeah, I would say Southern Atlanta, Decatur, Lithonia-ish, maybe Sandy Springs. I would say, yeah, Atlanta. It sounds Atlanta-y to me. Whenever there's a non-black person who does this fake accent, it's always the same one. Like you grew up in California, and you have a Decatur, which I believe is right underneath Atlanta. You have an Atlanta accent. That feels like you just making fun of black people. You didn't grow up around no black people in California. Talk about some took a lot at the bottom, but top of the mountains just for my lifestyle. You didn't get that out of California. Just lying. Thank you. So we have some other people who are her blowout cute. I ain't giving her no compliments, nothing. One more time. Let me hear the.
And I'm from here. I was born in Thailand, and I grew up in Georgia for a decade, and then I fucking moved to Nebraska. Hello, guys. Welcome back. And if you don't.
Let me also say, y'all are petty for going back and doing this research. Y'all are petty for going back. Why can't y'all just let her be who she is? Why did y'all have to go back and find where she had a completely different accent, even though she said, oh, she grew up in Nebraska and she came over, you know what I mean? Why are y'all trying to insinuate that this is not actually she just grew up around the culture and that she actually just stole it 2 years ago or less than 2 years ago when she was speaking like this? Y'all are just petty. Leave people alone and let them be.
Hello, guys. Welcome back. And if you don't know me, I go by Trey.
Oh my God, the new Jimmy. The new Jimmy. Last year at this time, I had a very silly run-in with my boy Jimmy. I don't know what his last name is, the basketball player guy. Now we got her. Yeah. People that very obviously don't talk like a black person, mimicking black people is like the funniest shit ever. You sound like you're about to shit yourself, trying to figure out how to say the next word. If you don't sound like that, it's cool. It's literally okay. Just be fucking normal. What did she say her name was? Trey? You're Trey.
I love, is this you? I love, is this you? That's actually what the judge did. That's, by the way, if you guys remember when we watched the full video, at the beginning of the video, the judge was like, when the man was like, please, your honor, I need leniency. The judge was like, are we looking at the same history? Is this you asking for leniency with these 13 charges of putting your hands on women and men? Is this you? Talk about some leniency. I love Is This You? That's one of my favorites. Oh, you know what else? One of my favorite disuse. Republicans who are like, we need to legislate gay people. We need to make being gay illegal, and gay marriage needs to be illegal in the sanctity of marriage. And people be posting them photos. Hey, was this you in this bathroom at the gay glory hole where y'all know that? Anyway, I love Is This You? I love it.
Just be Trey. whatever. Just be that. I'm trying to put on that damn Georgia accent, shorty. Relax. That's not what you sound like. And then to choose to do it on the internet of all places, like knowing damn well that this is not your first time here, and they will find you. They will fucking find you. Black Americans not necessarily knowing where their culture ends and begins is...
I don't know if this man is black or white, by the way. I legitimately don't know.
Is a big reason why people get so upset when you try to act like something.
I think he's mixed.
You're not. Trying to take culture that isn't yours is only going to make you look like shit.
And I'm from here. I was born in Thailand, and I grew up in Georgia for a decade. And then I fucking moved to Nebraska. Hello, guys. Welcome.
All right. Let me see. Oh, some of the people in the comments are making fun of her accent. Let's see what they're saying. Someone said cone bread. Cone bread. Cut a board. Oh my God. I don't know if y'all know about cut a board. I hope y'all do. Cut a board. Someone said for a decade. For a decade. Said 10 accents in one. Someone said best this you of January 2024. And it's only January 4th. And we already got the best this you. Not hello guys. Let me replay that one more time.
Moved to Nebraska. Hello, guys. Welcome back. And
hello guys. Welcome back to what's good. I mean, I'm just, you know what I mean, just get some cornbread from the, you know what I'm saying? I done grew. Somebody said done grew. I done grew up in Nebraska, you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Changed accents 5 different times in the video. Oh yeah, if y'all watch the full video, it's worse. Caught in 4K. What it do, cuzzo? What it do? Nah, I mean, I got it. Well, that lightened my heart a little bit. I feel a little better to go to sleep tonight. I'll do one more. I'll do one more for you guys.
Can I get a vanilla shake? And then can I get an orange juice? Because my boy likes to be a little healthy. I'm in the spirit today.
Asking for a small cup with ice.
Oh, can I get a small cup of ice? Yes, you can. All full and stuff. Hey, the line is long, so I might as well have some fun. Here we go.
That's all. Say this all.
Okay, that'll be all.
We have a double Whataburger meal. No onion.
Hey! Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. All right, I see you at the window now. Hallelujah! Glory, glory, glory! This burger finna be good!
I refuse to demonize black culture. I don't believe black culture is all bad and guns and killing and gangs and stuff. I refuse to demonize it. We wouldn't get stuff like this. And I know the woman on the end of that thing was black because of the way she was reading it back with pauses so he could hit that thing. Now let me also say, y'all playing in the Lord's face. I don't condone that. But I for the meme this one time, like she joined in with him. She deserves a raise. She said, yes, you can. Where is Rance Allen? Let me see if... Hold up. I don't know if I could play Rance because I feel like people are going. Okay. Well, we can do great value rants instead because I don't feel like dealing with copyright. So...
You've been good to me. I love you, Jesus. I love you,
I know it's funny, but like he has amazing vocal range. His ashy heel exposed. Why y'all focused? Let me play this back real quick. I don't believe you. Hold up. No, it's petty for me to confirm. No, we have to confirm. Let me see. I'm turning the music down so I can focus. That's how I don't know. It's I really wish I hadn't read this comment. How did you see that? How are y'all seeing that? That's what y'all was focused on? Let's see. The comments. He playing, but he don't even realize how many souls he has touched. Sing, young brother, although you are playing around, when that spirit actually settles in your soul, you are going to truly explore and experience your gift. Yeah, I refuse to demonize Black culture. I know people say Black culture is bad, but I see the good parts. And I believe this is Black culture. This ain't Christian culture, because I've gone to white people church. And I've gone to white people church. It's too quiet for me. But it is short, which I like. White people get in there, read a verse, and leave. I will say that much. I will commend that much. White people get in there, say a verse, and leave. White people, everybody gather in, sit down. The person at the front, I don't know if he's a pastor. I legitimately don't know. Maybe it was like a Protestant. No, not Protestant. Is it Protestant church or Methodist or something? I'm not sure. It was kind of a different church. But that white man got up there, waited for everybody to be seated. He didn't start till everybody was seated. Read a verse. And the Lord said unto John, do unto thee what you want done to others. I don't know. And then everybody said amen. He said amen. Everybody said amen. And then they all filed out. Protestant. I think it was Protestant or Pentecostal. I think. Maybe it was Methodist. I can't remember. So it's not Christian culture. It's specifically Black culture influencing our version of Christianity. That's what I believe. So that put me in a warm mood. To finish what I was saying, Black people church, on the other hand, is very long in my experience. Culture, 10 out of 10. I can't say that because there are like very misogynistic parts of the church too, and other problematic areas, I believe. But like some of it, right? Some of the stuff, like this guy singing. Yeah, that part's cool. But yeah, good night, everyone. It is very late now, so don't forget to like the video if you liked the video, or dislike it. I don't care. I get one of those per video, one FU, and I use that one non-verbally because I already feel like some of this video is like language is bad, so I'm not gonna risk it. But have a good night, everyone. Sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite.